All right. Hello, everybody. This is Sabir Falame coming to you from Baltimore. I'm pleased to be with you yet again for another installment of New Economic Reality. And I am one of your money charmers, again, Sensei Subira Falame and Latanya Taylor, who will be joining us shortly. She is joining us from Costa Rica, having a little bit of technical challenges this morning, but we're going to go on with this show, and we're happy to do so. So, what are we talking about today? As you know, we've been doing we're in the middle, actually, of a four-part series, and today is the third of those four parts. And what we'd like to engage you in a conversation with about today is vision. I'd like to talk to you about the principle of vision. And before we get off the air, also want to leave you with a couple of to-dos for vision. So as you know, our show runs about 1 hour. So you can, if you're here on your lunch break, which we are happy if you've decided to bring your brown bag, and hopefully that you found a beautiful place to sit outside. Hey, I see we got 2 people joining us. Hello, hello. But anyway, hope you brought your lunch with you today, and we're going to have a great conversation. I'm going to just share with you how vision has played a role in my personal life and in my business as an extension of that, of course, because as we know, your business grows as you grow. It cannot grow any faster than you do. Your business cannot, you can't see any further ahead in terms of what's possible for you in your vision until you work on your own vision. And I'm not talking about necessarily what you see with your eyes only, although that is a part of it. That is usually where we begin. However, as you grow and develop, the idea is that you begin to use more of your senses, okay? We live in a vast universe, and I'm going to speak, of course, from the perspective of my understanding. And for some people, that's going to really resonate, and that's going to be awesome. And so I'm just going to go from there. So as many of you know, I am a metaphysician, and hey, Latanya is here. I told y'all she would be here. She would not abandon us over in Costa Rica.
Good morning, everybody. Trying to get in the room.
Okay. Well, let us know when you're in, and I'll let you say your good mornings, because it is early, probably earlier morning over in Costa Rica. Yes.
It's 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Okay, that's a reasonable hour. Well, I was getting ready to start talking about vision from my perspective, but I want you to take your say hello first to our viewers. So we do have some viewers joining us today, as I see down here in the log. So hello, and thank you again for taking your lunch with us.
Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, awesome. So again, we're going to be talking about vision as a principle. How can you use vision in whatever it is you are creating? You need vision. Now, I'm going to say you don't need eyesight, but you need vision. 2 very different things. Okay, eyesight is a physical reality. It's a physical ability that you have. However, vision, people can see physically, be able to see something in front of them, but have absolutely no vision. Okay. And if you are an entrepreneur, if you aspire to be an entrepreneur, you have got to have vision, meaning you've got to be able to have sight beyond sight. You've got to be able to see beyond what's showing up in the physical today. You've got to be able to see beyond the physical, the situation you may be in at the moment. You've got to be able to see deeper into yourself, into your abilities, no matter how you may be judging yourself that you're moving too slow or you're moving too fast, or this isn't working or that isn't working. whatever the case may be for you. Vision gives you that stamina because you see what isn't there physically yet. If we only rely on what we can see with our physical eyes, I will tell you, I would have stopped a long, long time ago. But I was able to groom vision within myself. So Latanya, I've been speaking here for a while, so I want you to say a few words on vision for us from your perspective. Well, maybe she can't hear me. Can't hear me, Latanya? Okay. Latanya, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Still working on trying to get myself online here. So
Oh,
bear
okay.
with
Well,
me.
I'll keep going. You just chime in and let me know when you're ready. I'll keep going. So anyway, many of you know my business, Sacred Warrior Yoga, is a coaching and development business specifically for entrepreneurs and for women entrepreneurs. And, you know, I'm supporting women through the modality of yoga. And for me, yoga is much more than some postures and sitting here and holding Om and stretching and all that. That's part of it. Most definitely. That's a part of it. But that's not all of it. Yoga for me is about your own guru awakening. That's what yoga, the acronym, means for me. Your own guru awakening. And as that inner guru awakens by doing postures and some other things that I'm going to share with you, what happens is your money, your M.O.N.E.Y, which is the foundation of this show, New Economic Reality, your money begins to flow. Why? Because you've allowed your inner guru to start to guide you. You've allowed your inner vision to start to guide you. And you start gravitating towards those things that that are natural for you. You begin to be able to see further. So let's talk about one of the things that I do in my yoga practice. And then I'm just going to go to the basics right now, which is the physical movements. There's a posture, and you can go ahead and look it up, which is in English, we call it a eagle. Okay, and let's talk about the eagle. The eagle is known for its sharp sight and its sharp perception. I mean, an eagle can be miles and miles and miles up in the air, swoop down and pull up a fish out of the ocean. Well, it's developed this keen eyesight. As an entrepreneur, having vision, you need to develop a keen eyesight, the ability to see miles away. And those miles away, half the time, are going to be inside yourself, not outside. Okay. Although, you know, I do have to say, you want to be able to plan. Planning is one of the things that, as an entrepreneur, that is going to give you the ability to see as things move in and out of your business. If you have a plan and you know where you're going, your plan is your compass. And that compass helps you see the land. It helps you see what your business is doing, where it is going. Let me check in with Latanya real quick. Latanya, you there with us yet?
I'm here with you.
You ready to chime in yet or not quite?
No, just go ahead. I'll chime in.
Okay. Well, I've been chatting for a while, so I'd like, if you're ready, I'd like you to go ahead and jump in and
I was waiting on the posture.
you're waiting on the posture. So eagle is the posture. And it's Garu Asana. Garu Asana is the posture. in Sanskrit. In English, we call that eagle. And you're basically on one foot, and I can't do it. I'm sitting down. I'm not going to stand up and do it. But anyway, if you look this posture up and you work this posture, as an entrepreneur, I use yoga to support me in calling into not only into being, but into my body, right? For me, the way I work into my business is through my body. I'm a very physical person. You guys know this. You've been with us for a couple of weeks now, so you know this, a few months. So I will find a posture like Garurasana, eagle posture, and I will work hey, there's Latanya in video. Hey. I will work eagle pose. When I'm in that pose, I am thinking about being able to see. I'm thinking about the attributes of the eagle, and I want to hone those, develop those same attributes inside of myself so that I can use those attributes inside of my business. Again, y'all know I'm a metaphysician, so I'm going to do things like that in my business to help myself grow and develop. And that is something that has been hugely helpful to me in my business, using yoga postures. So Latanya, you are here, you are on the air, you are live. I want to give you the floor, my sister. We are talking about vision today and how our sisters can develop vision.
Yep.
What is vision? Some different ways they can think about it, some different ways they can play with vision and develop that within themselves. So take it away.
Vision is actually my very favorite topic. It is the base of everything that I do with my clients, and especially my business clients. And I have to say that when we talk about spiritual entrepreneurship, it's not really that far off, except that when we put spiritual in front of it, because every business begins with a vision. That's what a business plan is. It really is just a vision with dates and numbers and that type of thing. And so the spiritual entrepreneur, though, sometimes can be turned off by just regular business planning. There are some very successful entrepreneurs with multi-million-dollar businesses, spiritual or holistic businesses, that did not start with a hardcore business plan, but they had a vision. And so everything that I do with the client, when I'm working with juicy living, whether it is optimal living for those who are starting off new, begins with the vision. And I love working with professional and personal vision because it literally can allow you to see where you are limited and where you want to expand. And so I absolutely believe that I love the scripture to write the vision and make it plain. I have a little story to tell you all, because we don't come in front of you because we just decided to be coaches. We came because we were trained. Both Sabira and I went through a process where we had to demonstrate masterful coaching or masterful vision. In fact, we spent 2 years developing a vision in our coach training. And before we could go to the next level, we had to show a level of mastery in manifesting our own vision before we came in front of you, or was qualified to come in front of others to teach them how to manifest theirs. And that's very, very important, because you're in an industry, or many consumers are being bombarded in an industry with so many people who are calling themselves coaches or whatever they're calling themselves. But the key thing is, even for those of you who are spiritual entrepreneurs, I want to just tell you, don't let just your impetus to connect to people just be your only catalyst. Allow yourself to have manifested some areas of your vision. Now, here's the story. You gotta love the story. I wish Sabira were back online so that I can know she's there so she could hear this part of the story, because it's so funny when you are on purpose and when you are being prepared for something. Sometimes you have to go through it moments before you get ready to deliver. And I know those of you who teach a lot or who are ministers can attest to this. Nothing like living out your sermon. So here's the story. Yesterday, just yesterday.
Just yesterday.
Just yesterday. My husband and I were talking, and I was sharing something with him that I know that I had shared with him before. I had, this is funny already. I had already shared with him a timeline and a project that we were working on, and another thing that we needed to do. And he's been telling me, probably since we've been together the whole time, babe, you have conversations in your head. You may have thought that you told me, or you may have mentioned it thinking that you gave me the details. But he's like, there you have so many programs running in your head. Okay. And I was like, sometimes when your spouse says something to you, you think you're crazy. Like they're trying to say you're a little crazy. What you mean I got programs running in my in my head? Because we all are operating sometimes on viruses. That's a whole nother conversation, but we do have these programs running sometimes that we can't understand why our computer, mind, body, and spirit is not functioning. So I kind of went there thinking maybe he was talking about that particular program. But he said, no, he said, because you are managing so much and the way that you think and the way that you process, sometimes you'll start in the middle to tell me the thing that already you've been processing. And I said, well, you know what? He had suggested it before. I said, I'm going to make a list of everything that I'm managing and the things that I have going on, specifically with the business and then our personal projects. Sabira, when I listed,
oh my.
When I put all of the stuff on paper that is currently active with the business, but also with some of the personal projects that we're working on together, he looked at me and he said, this is not human.
That's kind. He's kind. That is not human.
But that is the story of the entrepreneur. Is that in most multimillionaires, even they have something constantly running. Now, I'm not a multimillionaire yet. However, but one of the things he said was you can't run this kind of program without some support.
Right.
And so I say that to those of you who have ideas, those of you who are currently in your business, you're trying to do everything yourself. A part of writing down at least a preliminary idea, vision, or components of the vision, and having support in doing so, it allows you to address what we call in more of the business world is your SWOT, your SWOT analysis. Your strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. And usually it is better done with a coach because they are able to give you an objective view and also to show you some of the areas that you cannot see. In that moment, personally, I happen to have a coach. I do have a business coach, but I also had my husband coach, the husband coach, husband coach.
Love
And
having a coach.
yeah, it was a moment of vision, and I have written out my business vision, but I had not updated it.
Right, right. Interesting you would say that. Hold on to that for when we come back, because one of the action steps I have involves something along those lines. So we are just so in sync as always.
As always, and Spirit does it for you and I, back to the whole idea of partnership, because I wasn't really sure exactly what the topic was going to be today, but I was living it. And I just wanted to share that because it was refreshing and therapeutic to write it out.
Mm.
It was cathartic to be able to see it. But here is the money charm, y'all. Here's the money charm.
Mm.
Every vision, every desire, every map that I have written out in the past has come to pass.
Yes, that is so true.
Without my hands on it.
That is so true.
Sometimes I do have to take a bold action step or a leap. Sometimes I have to send a strong signal to the universe of my commitment. Sometimes I have to stretch outside of my comfort zone. And sometimes the stretch outside of the comfort zone does not always look like external action. Right. Sometimes the stretch outside the comfort zone begins with internal action. What does LaTanya mean by that? So glad you asked. What I mean by that is sometimes the butterflies in your stomach and getting past the butterfly or the inner conversation of fear, of isolation, of shutdown, of ego, of I don't want to hear it. I don't like the way they're saying it. Well, why they gotta present it like that? I don't know what the next step is going to be. That is an internal conversation. And when you are able to stretch your internal muscles beyond that inner conversation, then you are able to access your charm. That is a signal of abundance. And that is what creates the income, is when you are that committed. But many of us get very stuck. We get stuck on only the outcome, and we never look at our own income.
Now that right there, worth the price of admission. That right there. And because, LaTanya, bring your camera down or up a little bit. I can't see which one it is, but yeah, there we go.
Is that it?
Yeah. Because when you are dealing with money, both on the esoteric end of the spectrum, as well as once money has manifested into cash, right? As it's going through that process, a lot of times we're paying attention to one side and not the other. We're paying attention to income, but not outcome. We're paying attention to outcome and not income. And to really be able to tap the mother lode, and the mother lode is the charm. It's hitting the right spot, and it doesn't take a lot of pressure. It doesn't take a lot of, you don't have to bang on it hard. When you tap the mother lode just right, boom, you've hit. Hands on it too much. Is there some work? Look, you guys, LaTanya and I have told you from the beginning, we're not going to sit here and tell you now you can. I'm not going to say you can't manifest $1 million. And I'm going to tell you guys a story about that. I'm not saying that you cannot do that. But what I'm saying is even in being able to manifest whatever sum of money you put, whatever amount behind the decimals you want, it does require some effort, some output, some income and outcome on your part. right? So now I have a story. This just happened. Let's see. Today is Tuesday. So this started on Saturday. So on the weekends, you guys, so that I can actually get some things done, I have made a commitment not to be on, especially Facebook.
I love it already. I love it already. Go ahead.
I will throw a little water on you. I will throw a little water on you. Yeah. So I've decided a while ago, I'm not going to be on Facebook all weekend. And if you go back and you look at my page, you will see there's no posting from me for several days. So late Saturday night, and when I say late, for me, late is 9:30, 10 o'clock. I fired up my computer and Facebook popped up, and I get the little bing that I had an instant message coming through. I'm like, like somebody stalking me. As soon as I get on Facebook, they like, I want to leave you a message. I look down, and it's a friend of mine that I literally hadn't talked to in about a year. Last time I saw him was in a grocery store, and we just, hey, how you doing? Catching up. Boom. I haven't seen this gentleman in a year. He pops up and says, Sabira, I have a friend who's got a daughter that's going to, she's been accepted into Morgan, and Morgan has run out of rooms. And she needs a place to stay for 2 months. Okay, no problem. Have him come by. We'll meet the young lady and see if it feels like a fit, and et cetera, et cetera. And now I gotta go back and preface this with the inner work that I've been doing for some time is a bit of charm, a little bit of a ritual that I do that actually calls money to my door. Because in the way that I see my business plan, that I'm able to turn on a laptop and work from anywhere in the world. So that money needs to come through the portals, the thresholds, the windows of wherever I am in the world. So I do some charm work around that. Been doing that for a while. Okay. So anyway, the young lady and her family come, we meet, feels good. We go upstairs, let them have their family, conversation, because she had looked at a couple of different places. And we come back down, and the young lady was like, oh, I want to live here. I want to live. This is where I want to live. And so, okay, we negotiated the terms of the stay. We're like, okay, so when does school start? The mother looks at us and says, tomorrow.
Yeah, pretty much.
We were like, okay. And don't you know, she went into her wallet, pulls out cash. Money came to my door. The inner work that I have been doing, the inner stretch that I have been doing was holding the vision that I do not have to leave my house to manifest income. And the outflow for me was to be able to increase my vibration to the point that I'm able to attract to me persons, places, and things that come to me and say, we want what you got. And that is happening more and more and more in my business, more and more and more in my personal life. And it is absolutely amazing that you can write these things down. That's one stretch. Again, yoga, right? Stretch. That's what it's about. That I can write these things down. I can hold the vision in my mind, because I realize I don't see with my eyes. I see with my mind and my whole body. I'm writing it down. I'm holding the vision. I'm getting it into my body by doing yoga. As I'm doing yoga and I'm stretching, I am going over my vision. I mean, I'm talking to myself. I'm seeing it. I'm calling all this to me. All the while, that makes my vibration larger. And next thing I know, I'm magnetic. and those situations, people, places, things, it is literally reorganizing matter. So I don't want to get too out there because you got to get to the nitty gritty too. So there are those pieces, and there are the writing it down. There are the having a coach. You know, and I think another important part, LaTanya, is even outside the coach, having your own council of people you trust, your tight group of friends that are going, they may not be going in the exact same place as you, but they're going in the same direction. So you've got other eagles that you're flying with. And that maybe if your sight gets a little off, your other eagles can see for you until you can see for yourself. If you've kind of fallen off or whatever the case may be. But it is, you need to be flying with other eagles high. And when they see something on the ground that looks like something that could be for you, they're going to say, hey, I'm going to be like, hey, LaTanya, there's an opportunity over here. Swoop down and grab it. And she'll be able to swoop right in and get it, because I'm an eagle with my eye always out for opportunities, always sharpening my vision. So that's another thing I wanted to just say.
I mean, that's powerful. I definitely, we probably could go story after story after story. And for those of you who are on 9 to 5, I cannot even tell you, you know, this applies even for when you are on the 9 to 5, because I didn't just create my vision when I became a full-time entrepreneur. I had the vision for years prior. I held the vision. So much so that I kept repeating. There were times, I can't give all the magic away until you contact me for a consultation or something, but I was just about to give you one like Sabira says, you have your own charm practices, but there are certain techniques and what I call the techniques that I offer in coaching is quantum leaps, because the quantum leaps happen when you have done your work. And it is a nice balance of the soft and the hard skills, because you can't be all airy-fairy and expect it to come. That's not the kind, when we use the words magic, when we use the words charm, it doesn't make us any less driven, right? But our accountability comes from spirit. I think that is so important for those of you who are artists and healers and world changers and change agents who don't necessarily vibrate in the normal conformity, but those who really are driven. One of the things that's important for healers is oftentimes we just tend to jump into the work heart first, and we don't have a plan, we don't have a vision, we don't have a strategy, or we become so driven by it that we burn out. The old paradigm of the healer is martyrdom. I want you to hear that again. That is old paradigm healing, martyrdom. We've seen the martyrs in traditional religion, that's how we have been conditioned to think that that's how a heart servant, a humanitarian is supposed to live. But the new model of healing requires that the healer goes first. You must do your work. And a part of that is the vision. A part of that is getting support in ways that you may not have done it before, that is structured and that allows you to be accountable. So I just want to do a quick recap of what we already said. Sabira so beautifully in synchronicity, in synchronicity, opened up with a stretch. She opened up with it, like literally stretching the body. And then, you know, here I come with my little story about having a crowd control. I want you to hear crowd control.
Mm.
When all of your thoughts are in your head crowded and you don't have room. You know, the scripture says, if I could preach this a little bit.
Oh. Go ahead. You can't help yourself. I
can't help myself. I can't help myself. I will pour you out a blessing that you will not have room to receive. I like to reword that. I like to say, I like to affirm it and say that I align with the Holy Spirit pouring me out a blessing that I have prepared room to receive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes things are worded by man that keeps you in struggle.
Yes.
And you have to become your own scripture, not just repeating the scripture that has been given to you by your grandmama. Now, when you want to connect with your grandmama, you say her scriptures. But when you want to connect with your own divine purpose, then you become the scripture. You become the new revelation. You become the New Testament, huh? Don't get me started. Let me stop. I got chills. Whew. So the recap was stretch, write the vision down, get it out of your head, do a brain dump.
Do a brain dump. Love it. Love it.
I gotta fan myself now, Sabir. I feel my grandmama.
I was fanning you for you, but you know, sometimes you gotta just do it for yourself. I understand. I understand. Wow, wow, wow. So I want to go further with this. I want to talk about kind of like the order of things.
Yes.
Right? Because a lot of times you hit on this when you talked about the martyr, and that sometimes part of that martyrdom is being all over the place. You said it much more eloquently than I just did, but part of that martyrdom is disorder. And what disorder allows you to do, it allows you to actually not see the vision. And then when you can't see the vision, oh, it's not my fault that I couldn't manifest the vision because I couldn't see it because I was in disorder. So one of the things I want to leave you know, want to just kind of drop into this conversation is that, how am I hearing this? I'm hearing this as great vision precedes great achievement. So you've got to be able to clear away the disorder. You've got to be able to create order in your life. You've got to be able, if you are an artist, a healer, a teacher, you know, a massage therapist,
right,
a minister, so forth and so on. The young lady who is renting space here, she's training to be an opera singer. You know, and at such a young age, I know so many people who would not go for that and whose parents would not go for that, because how are you going to make any money with that? She is going for her vision. And so I can only imagine what clutter she had to clear away to get through, and then to get here to the college campus and say, there is no room for you. It would have been so much easier to get back in the car, drive back up, and go to a local university. But her vision said no. She had a clear path here.
I hope this is coming back and I don't lose you.
With the eyes. I've said this, and I'm going to keep saying it. Don't get caught up in what your eyes are seeing. However, and at the same time, if you have a bunch of clutter in your house, that is indicative of what is going on in your mind. And if your mind is cluttered, because your mind is where you actually see. So if your space is cluttered, then I can guarantee to that is you can't see beyond sight. To the vision. If your finances are all willy-nilly, in your finances, and write down, figure out how to is so that you can bring order, vision. And again, I will say, very challenging time, almost a martyrdom through all this clutter and things that are in the way. All Uh-oh.
I'm here. Did you? My
There we go. Okay. Oh, you here?
I'm here. My signal is a little weak. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't hear the last thing that you said. Or were you passing it on to me?
Yes, I sure was.
Okay. One of the most powerful things that you said was your opening statement when you talked about the disorder, and I thought it was so powerful because when you talked about this disorder, the first thing that I heard was disorder disorients. Did you hear me?
And then that was all we heard.
Okay. I said that one of the most powerful things that I heard you say was that disorder disorients. Disorder. And I said disorder disorients. That's what I offered. And I thought about how even for people who started out on a journey and they started the journey doing what everybody else wanted. Can you hear me?
No, people who started out on a journey and what? We're going to stay with you.
I thought about people who started out on a journey.
Yes.
And they followed what everyone else wanted.
Nope. I heard people started out on a journey and
wow, what a challenge today. We've been getting great reception otherwise. Okay, it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
People who started out on a journey and they did what everybody else wanted. Something doesn't want this transmission to come through, but I'm going to get it in. I am going to get this transmission in. Can you hear me now?
That's the beauty of living in Costa Rica. So we're going to work with it.
I don't know if it's Costa Rica or just my technology. You can go on. I'll come back. Come back to me. Come back to me.
I can hear you.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Spirit. I don't want to hold up the broadcast. You can come back to me.
I'll take over from here. I'm not sure. So I'll pick up from what you were saying, and I don't know if this about being in disorder. Alignment with your vision. Is that where you're going?
No, sweetie, you can go ahead. I'll come back. You just come back to me.
Oh yeah, we're not getting reception in Costa Rica too good right now. Can you hear me?
No, honey, just go on. Go on with the broadcast.
Okay. All right. So the idea being, don't in the direction that other people are going. Have a vision, that you stay connected with you. Millions and millions of people out here, millions and millions of influences, millions of and trying to get us to go this way and that way and this way and that way. You need to know where you're going. You know, the world according to Sabir, there's a purpose for which specifically are here to do and be about. Path, maybe that path is not going to open so that other people can come behind. While collaborating is excellent, Latanya and I have got this beautiful collaboration going, and at the same time, Latanya making sure that I stay on my path, on my vision, what I came here to say and do and be, and to you, Latanya, for that. Always keeping me on my path. Like Latanya and I have a marriage of sorts. Yes. She is a businesswoman with her own vision, her own agenda, who her voice speaks to. And I am the same thing. But I haven't left. I don't leave. I've been nurturing this baby since I was probably literally 15, 16 years old. But that was the beginning seedling. 15, 16, I am 45 years old now.
Sabira, can you hear me?
Her vision for years and years. Love and nurturing and attention to. You don't want to abandon. Don't get lost in the sauce.
Sabira, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm getting feedback from one of our viewers that they are not hearing your words, my love. So the Costa Rica is off the hook. that your broadcast, they're getting every other word. I'm also seeing it, but I thought it was my internet. So you know, we'll do a summary for those of you all who are listening of some of the points that we made in when we repost the broadcast. But the feedback is that viewers are saying that they're getting every other word on your end, and I know you're saying some very powerful thing, and that I'm coming through clear. So you might have heard me curse when my camera wasn't working.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so you're frozen over here. But, you know, it's okay, because sometimes the vision may tarry. It's okay, meaning you might have to put in a little bit more labor when it's time for you to implement your vision. This is just labor pains as we deliver this money charm, this new economic reality. It's just labor pains.
Yeah, for sure.
So you were in the middle of it. You're coming through clear now. I don't know what you did, but I see you.
Well, I'm going to leave it on you. How about you close us out, since
Okay.
yours is clearly.
I just want to say real quick what I was saying earlier was about the disorder. When Sabir talked about the disorder, I was saying that disorder will also disorient you. And that does not necessarily apply just to young people. It applies to many of us who started out on a path and we conform to what the expectations were of us by family members, or just what we thought by the culture that we were supposed to do. And so we start out in disorder, and we find ourselves disoriented when we're in a career that we don't want to be in, when we're in a marriage that disorder led us to, or where we are just not really living in our purpose. So one of the things that we're talking about here is beginning, because order is the first law. And so coming to this Money Charm Investment Club that we have created is the first step of order. It's a signal to the universe. It takes you out of the lack conversation. It ushers you into accountability. It ushers you into the vision and the planning of the vision. And so we want to invite those of you who are listening, despite all of our technical challenges today, you know that you can reach out to us directly, and we will recap everything that we just said in the Money Charm Investment Club. Of course, you will get all of these nuggets and more. We are looking forward to working with people who are already committed. Like I said before, we are inviting and entering people in to this first level of the process, so that you can make this vision become alchemical, make it become a living organism as an entrepreneur, or that you refine the vision with some support. And all of the ideas, all of the product that you have in your mind to create, or some of the services, it will start to come to you as a download. It will naturally begin to order itself. We're not talking about doing something hard. I think the hardest part of the work is us taking ourselves on. And so you don't even have to do that alone. And so we just want to invite you to get in touch with us, to surrender your inner conversation of what you don't have. And one of the last things I think I could leave you with, and it was on my heart to share anyway today, is get out of your own way. Get out of your vision's way, because you cannot see with your physical eyes how you are going to get the support, enroll in the program. At least vote for yourself to have the conversation. At least vote for yourself to send the email. At least vote for yourself by declaring and affirming, I'm coming, I'm going to do this. No matter what your situation is. Someone sent me a note just the other day saying, hey, I am an unemployed mother of 2 and I need spiritual support. And I would like to invite you to declare yourself after that I am statement as, I am an abundant woman who is temporarily experiencing a pause in my income. You see the difference? Because whatever you put after I am is what you become. And many of us have become so identified by the outcome, and rather than identifying ourselves as the M.O.N.E.Y, the income, my natural energy yield. And so we want to invite you to be able to tweak in places like that. What your true identity is, what the divine intelligence already has in position for you. I'm telling you, don't take this spiritual journey lightly to think that it won't get you the results that you desire. We are in it. We are living testimonies of it. And it is constantly growing and expanding for us. And we definitely want to allow you to be able to be that testimony as well. Sabira, I think that we've done well today. Mercury's not quite in retrograde as far as the lineup, but it may be for Google Plus, Google Hangout. I don't know if Sabira is frozen on your end, if she can hear me, but it's been an honor to host you today. Again, see us to join the Money Charm Investment Club. And as you can see, sometimes partnership and collaboration means that you pick up each other's slack and you keep it moving and you don't get frustrated, even though your little girl or your little boy may want to. So have a wonderful day, everybody. I don't know, Sabira, if you can hear me to sign off.
But in case you do, I just want to say it's been a 12 noon next Tuesday for more conversations about Money Charm. Thank you so much. Remember, we are 30 days to creating a new